The story is about a man who lived in Petach Tikva in Israel. And he raised a beautiful family, an absolutely beautiful family. And someone once asked him, I don't get it. You had no role models in your life. You're a survivor from Austria. How were you able to be such a wonderful parent to your children and build such a wonderful family? To which the man said, let me tell you a story. I grew up in Austria. I was a young kid when the war broke out. And we knew what was coming. So my father did what was probably the hardest thing for any father to do, and that is that he sent me away. Now, I can't even imagine having to make such a decision like that, sending your children away, knowing the chances were you would never see them again. But that's what my father did for me. He put me on the kinder transport. I survived the war in England, and I was able to come to the land of Israel after the war. And I remember like it was yesterday, the day that my father put me on that train. He took me to the train station in Austria. We sat there waiting. Not much was said. And finally the train showed up. And my father said to me, before I got on that train, he said, Sei a gute Yid in Yiddish, which means, be a good Jew. And my father walks me onto the train, and I find a seat, and I sit down, and my father says to me one more time, Sei a gute Yid, be a good Jew. It's time for my father to get off the train. He goes to the window of the train. He says one more time, Sei a gute Yid, be a good Jew. Finally, the train starts to move, and my father moves with the train, saying again and again, Sei a gute Yid. And then the train picks up speed, and my father starts running off to the train, screaming, Sei a gute Yid! And eventually the train moves too fast, and my father falls onto all fours, still saying to me from a distance, Sei a gute Yid. That was the last thing I ever heard my father say. I'm not going to do whatever I can to be a good Jew. And that was the inspiration for this young man to be able to rebuild from the ashes of the destruction of Europe and to build a beautiful family and to pass on to his children what it meant to Sei a gute Yid, to be a good Jew.